Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's episode 1902, 1902. It's Basil's birthday today, yay. He's made it to 11.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
This goes all the way to 11. And there was that character on Stranger Things named 11. And 11 rhymes with the word heaven. Or Kevin. Hey, I saw Kevin yesterday. We had ourselves a beer. It was a wonderful conversation. And he's a real dear, cool fan. One of the only listeners of this show.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And he's been on the show with Addendum with Kevin. And I got to show him actually where I do the podcast in Podcastro Valley.
Daily.
Today we're in Podcastro Valley Mont.
Yeah!
Podcastro Valley Mont today. So, did that make any sense? It might have been 100% true.
It's 130% true.
Okay. So, it was a good time, and Basil hadn't seen Kevin in a while, and we talked, and it was fun, and it was a great day. And then I tried to get to bed early, and of course, one thing after another happens. There's I got to replace that light. I got to take the dog out. I got to do this. And then next thing I know, it's like 10 o'clock. And I'm like, you can never get enough sleep if you get up at 4 in the morning. There is just no way. And it makes you want to scream.
Why?
But let me just say this, and this will only mean anything to one person, and that's Kevin, and that is Jeremy's leaving. Jeremy's leaving. Jeremy, what? Jeremy from that horror movie thing? No. Jeremy has worked at this one radio station for a long, long time, and he's a young guy, he's gone through a lot. He's gone through a lot of different education and whatnot in colleges and such. And therefore, and thus, he's getting out because he's had enough.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And there is this love-hate relationship people have with radio. They'll be with the station for a long time and hate it, or they'll be with the station for a short time and hate it, and then they gotta go because they can't stand it. Or they have a relationship with the station that they don't care either way. But it's time for Jeremy to move on. What does that mean? It means he'll be back. No, who knows? But I left radio back in 2009, 10 years ago. That's right, I left radio for a while. Basil will be in the podcast picture today, I think. We're going to celebrate the Basil dog on his birthday. Let's see. I'm trying to find a picture of you, Basil, for being 11 today. But it's difficult. My Google Photo's not helping. Oh, by the way, so I'm listening lately to a lot of... Yeah, we'll do Basil with headphones on. The Basil headphone picture. Let's go with that. I might have to doctor this up a little bit, but... Okay, something with Basil will be in the podcast picture, which you can see at MikesDailyPodcast.com. And tell all your friends. So, yeah, I'm listening to a lot of local radio. In the Bay Area, we've got all these colleges, and just about every single one of them has a radio station. Some high schools have radio stations. And you can pick them up pretty good. Well, in Podcastro Valley or on my drive down to Fremont, I can hear it pretty good. And I hear a lot of this. Oh, that was... hold on, let me get my notes. Oh, that was a set of music from David Bowie's first 3 albums. You either love that or hate that, because it's just, it's so bad. To a radio professional person, which I only call myself that since I've been in radio for over 30 years, and then I left it and I came back to it, and that kind of says that I'm a glutton for punishment. that you kind of need to not. When you are doing a podcast, for all of you who are doing one, it is best if you're prepared and don't do a lot of, what are we going to talk about next? Because you're wasting tape at that point, and you're wasting the person's time. Valuable time that they are, they're being chirp, they're being turning into a little bird. They are giving you a nice gift, and that's a bird, and that is their time. People are giving you their time, and so you can't just waste it. You can't just say, oh, I'm the best thing ever, and waste their time. No, you've got to acknowledge their time and give them the best bang for the buck for the moment. So, but it's just fun to listen to those, and well, they can play anything they want. They don't have any restrictions. They can jump from one song, one type of music to another, or talk about whatever. Of course, they can't say the F word or the S word or any other word they can come up with, and they have to
behave yourself.
They have to behave themselves. Comedians in cars getting coffee. I watched the one with Kate McKinnon. Kate McKinnon is she's such a talent. She's also a mimic. She should be called Kate McKim-mimic, because she is, while she's riding in this car with Jerry Seinfeld, holy moly, that's what you get at 5:44 in the morning.
Let's go, Jerry. Go!
So she's driving with Jerry in this car. By the way, comedians in cars getting coffee, they drive around in only one of two places. They are always either Jerry's picking up comedians and driving them around to get coffee in either one of two cities. One of the cities being New York. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast, someone podcast Valley Mont today. Or they are in Los Angeles in the San Fernando Valley. They're either one or the other. And Los Angeles can be a little more interesting because they can go down to the beach, or and I see all the I grew up down there, so I'm like, oh, I know where they are. Oh, I know that. Oh, that's what that looks like now. Oh, so I find that show fascinating in that level. It's sort of a travelogue, but at the same time, he's in New York, and he's always talking about how great New York is, and la New York, and I am just okay. Love that so much. Well, it'd be nice to see another city, is what I'm saying. So they're walking around New York. They're in New York, and of course, New Yorkers are they just accept celebrities and start talking to them like they're old friends. Jerry or Kate McKinnon, she was talking about how someone comes up to her and goes, Hillary. And the rest of it I don't really remember. Just Kate McKinnon seemed like the whole time she was studying Jerry Seinfeld to try and come up with an impression of him. And I know she will. Speaking of, so why doesn't anyone as far as I know, he has not done a Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee in San Francisco or Cupertino, where I once saw him perform. And he said, what's a Cupertino? Is that like a really tiny cup? And I just thought that's the only joke I remember from that entire Jerry Seinfeld concert that cost a lot of money. But San Francisco is the healthiest city, apparently. And they base that, what was the source of this? Some wallet. Yeah, it was the wallet. Oh, I'm trying to remember. The Wallet Hub or some app thing like that. Trying to draw attention to the app so that you'll use it. I'm very anti putting any money apps in your phone. Even Amazon, I'm very leery of that. There's something, I don't trust the phone completely in its security. Prove me wrong, though. You can tell me. 336MM Daily. That's 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast has been since, oh my God, since almost a whole week. Dang. This podcast usually is not completely daily, if you haven't guessed. But the South, by the way, cities in the South They're the unhealthiest. And I think they base this on the amount of healthy food you can eat, the type of lifestyle. People walk a lot in San Francisco. In the South, they drive less. There's more fatty foods and people. And the weather is not very conducive to going outside because it gets so humid. And there's not as much bicycling. In San Francisco, as far as the smog goes, I think it pretty much all blows into Oakland, blows inland. And Oakland is directly east of San Francisco. So maybe Oakland's the unhealthiest city. I don't know. But China released all their pork reserves. They're worried because of the trade battle and the massive war. Oh, we got gonged because of that story. That's right. But yeah, who knew? A pig reserve. Now I know Canada has got the...
Take off, you posers!
Has got the maple syrup reserve. But... a pig reserve. And pigs can be cute animals. Pigs can be house pets. Would I ever have a pig? I don't know. I was talking to a neighbor down the street who lost her dog almost a year ago due to health reasons, and she said it's tough. She said what she misses most is the little claws hitting the hardwood floor when Zoe used to walk up and down the halls with the... And I know, I was thinking about it because Basil hasn't really walked up and down the halls in a while. He needs my help in order to walk down the halls. But I would really miss his bark. He's got this goofy bark and the way he plays and the way he snores. He's got the best... Oh! In fact, Basil, here, let's play right now. Yes. Yes. And finally, I'm so anti-homeschooling. Let me tell you why. And somebody said on the radio yesterday, oh, anybody who's been homeschooled, they're really good, dependable people. And that might be true. Jeremy is homeschooled. He was homeschooled. And he was dependable for the job that he worked at. Everybody could depend on him to show up. Unlike some people, but I won't go into that right now. I'm just homeschooling. What about all the socializing you do? There's a lot to be said about socializing. They didn't really go into that yesterday. But the parents of homeschoolers, I sometimes wonder about. To me, they seem to be like the dog owners that are over-crazed, that they go to a dog park and keep their dog on a leash. Those type of people. You're in a dog park. Let the dog off the leash. They can run around. That's the whole point of a dog park. Parents, they need to let their kids run free and say, let go. Let it go. And run around and bump their heads and, get into little fights and all that stuff. That's part of life. That's staying home all day, plus the whole word homeschooled. And my mom can't leave the home at the moment because of a pain she has in her hip, and she's getting help for that, but she needs help to get to the hospital to do that. But she's getting so tired of her home because she's stuck there, and you got to get the heck out. But that's life, isn't it? We get the heck out and then we want to go back home. Bruce Springsteen talks about that in his latest Netflix thing, the thing where he's on Broadway. And he says, yeah, my song, Born to Run, was getting the heck out of New Jersey. It's a death trap. Let's go. Let's go. That's the suicide rap. But he said, where do I live now? I live 10 minutes from where I grew up. And that song, My Hometown, well, that's the complete opposite. So that's just how we are. It's human nature. You can love your home, but I guess also love getting away. You need that time to get away. And I'm not going to sing that Chicago song. You're welcome. It was a total sellout song, and David Foster, who's so full of himself, who produced that song, did most of the instrumentation. All he needed was Peter Cetera to sing it. And that's my little discography part there for you today. And thank you very much for listening. Hey, there's some characters out here we didn't say hi out to. Let's say hi out to them very quickly.
Hello, my Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. Happy birthday, Basil.
Hello, Dave Mike. This is Valentino, the party attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
And Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman.
And this is John Deere, the engineer. And we all wish Basil the Boxer a very happy birthday. Mm-hmm. Yay! All right. 11 years old. Awesome. Okay, next show, it'll be maybe some of those people we just heard. And, Benita, the rodeo queen, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Have a great day. Oh, Madam Rutabaga wanted to say something.
Yes, Michael Master, I love that Basil is alive.
Woo! Yes, he's still alive. Yay. As of this recording. That's great. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day. Play a Rick Ocasek song and an Eddie Money song to just remember them, because they had some fun 1970s, 80s working man's music. Or actually, Rick Ocasek had the new wave stuff with the Cars. Okay, Ocasek, I must go. Have a good day. Enjoy it. That's FF episode 1902. Thanks.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!